Hello, YouTube. Okay. Okay. It's like 3:09 in the morning. Catching up on my DVR, and I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. And for the past few weeks, I've been really, episodes, I've been really irritated with one of the storylines. And if you watch Grey's Anatomy, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's the, and I can't even think of her name right now. Shirley. Gina Davis's character, the neonate surgeon, and her brain tumor. Um, my irritation isn't with her, even though she's quite bitchy. My irritation is with Shepard, Amelia. From the day she learned of the tumor, she was in over her head. And she was blinded by the realization of how big, not the can't talk, not the proportion, but the gravity of what this tumor was. She knew that if she tackled this tumor, and if by some miracle she was able, Herman, that's her name, and she was able to rid Herman of her tumor, and Herman come out alive, and, well, Amelia knew that she would be not really one-upping her brother, Derek, Dr. Dreamy, but she would be essentially known in the neurosurgery community as the best. Or maybe not the best, but she would make a name for herself, because this type of tumor had never been beaten. And I was kind of irritated by that. I'm sorry, allergies. I was kind of irritated with that, in the respect that it wasn't the seriousness of the tumor, it was the fact that she tackled Herman's case basically for the sole purpose of showing her brother up. And that's what really irritates me. That was my initial irritation. My irritation now has been the fact that she knew she was in over her head, and she continued. She continued with the case. I'm sick and tired of not being able to see. Put these on. Just can't move my head. She was blinded with the. Let's see, let me lose me. I lost my train of thought. Amelia, she knew she was in overhead, and she continued. Um, she continued to pursue Herman and her tumor. She, in a sense, courted the tumor, and she couldn't. I mean, when someone would bring up rather, she was very defensive of it, of the topic of him. Amelia knows that Derek is better than her in the neurosurgery sense. Amelia knows that Derek probably would, well, I don't know. He might have attempted this tumor, maybe. I don't know. But this tumor is a conquest for Amelia. She, I was gonna say last season, the last episode, when it was the one where we continued to hear Amelia's presentation, I guess, of the tumor to the rest of the hospital. I enjoyed those clips in the show. It showed, I don't know. I think the farther along the show time, the in show time went, um, I think Amelia started believing her lies. Or lies is not the that's not the word. She started believing that she could take care of this tumor. She started believing her own. Um, I think it stopped being a thing one upping Derek, and she started actually believing that she could do it when she quite honestly um, could not. I am in the middle of the episode. I've not seen the end of it. I'm not sure where I am in the episode because I can't find my remote. She last episode last week, she, with that show, at the end of her lecture, or towards the end of it, Callie stood up and addressed the fact that Amelia was probably not ready, that she may be in over her head. Callie knew. And as last week's episode progressed through the hour, we see Amelia come to the realization. I think I still pronounce that wrong. We see her, it slowly dawning on her that she was indeed in over her head, and she was terrified. And part of what irritates me is that none of the other doctors, at the very least, didn't call Derek and give him a heads up and say, hey, Amelia's working on this tumor and she's not willing to call you. You know, I know, was it last season? The way they're doing these damn seasons, I get seasons confused now because they do early season, mid season, that crap. liked it so much better when it was just one season. But we seen there, I think it was last season, because what's his face hasn't been on the show. But we seen Derek come in and take over one of Amelia's cases. And I kind of think that's why none of the doctors have said anything. But, and I understand this is a television show, it's not real. In real life, this would never happen. Doctors would know if another doctor was in over their head, and they would bring them down a peg. They wouldn't question. They would probably question them in the beginning, but as it got more serious and more real, they would confront this doctor and say, "Hey, you need to bring in others." Part of the storyline with the whole Amelia being completely unwilling to tell her or call her brother and say, "Hey, I may need your help on this. I may need your expertise." That's just bad writing on the writer's part or for the show. It's just like, really? It's, and like I said, I know the show's not real. They're being written this way, but it's like, it's kind of like the writers don't think that us viewers are smart enough to realize that this would never happen in real life. I'm sorry, I got a piece of hair on my eyelash. Um, and now I'm in the about middle of this episode. Sorry. And Amelia again, and I can't think of her name. God. Amelia's attending the black girl who stood with her in the superhero pose. That was such crap. Last episode at the end, she knew that Amelia was in over her head, and she didn't say anything about it. She didn't bring it up to see, you can tell that I have issues with names. Owen, you can tell that I'm sorry, she did not bring it up to a superior above Amelia. She didn't express any concern for the patient. And that's the whole thing. They're trying to save Herman, and it's like they're trying to save her, but they're not concerned. No one's concerned. Hey, Amelia might really, really fuck this up, and this doctor, this patient could lose her life. It's the whole thing just really, it's just irritating as hell. And now we see in the gallery again, and it's almost like Callie in this episode. It's almost like she took a step back. Last episode, she knew that Shepard was in over her head and that Derek needed to be called. She didn't call Derek. Now it's almost like she's stupid to the fact. It's almost like it makes me wonder if this episode was written by a different writer than last episode, because it's like it's like that whole thing with Callie knowing. It's like she don't know now. Not that she don't know or she doesn't think that Amelia can pull it off. It's like what happened last episode didn't even happen. It's weird. I don't know. Derek needed to be contacted from day one, and Amelia was blinded, and none of the other doctors foresaw this, and it just rubs me the wrong way. Shepard, Ma, don't come in here for a second because I'm doing a video. Well, go to the bathroom or something. I can't pause this. Now, what's... Oh, I lost my train of thought, and again with the names, I can't think of his name. What's his face came down to from the gallery and told Amelia that he was there for her if she needed, help, whatever. And Amelia told him to call her brother. The whole thing. I'm just irritated with it. I'm irritated that none of the other doctors gave Derek a heads up. I understand it is what it is, but the storyline bothers me. So, Grey's Anatomy aside, I'm not sure where my channel's going. I've not been making a whole lot of videos, even though I got a laptop. I'm not happy with the view. I don't like the pixelization and whatnot. And there are some videos that I have been wanting to do. I just haven't done them. Okay, seriously. I don't know. Maybe it's it's gonna go towards TV episodes and movies and me being irritated with certain storylines. You don't know. So it's gonna go where I'm just gonna let it go where it wants to go. I'll make videos here and there. But that's it. Excited to see where the rest of this episode's gonna go. So talk to you later. Bye.